She spun, preparing to hurl her cider at the person who'd snuck up behind her. "Easy there." Archer pulled back the hood of his indigo cloak enough for her to see his face, handsome and clever, with dark eyebrows above eyes like a summer sky. "You'll need that energy if things go poorly." "You startled me." She took a sip of cider to hide her blush, her warm cheeks having little to do with nerves. "Is everyone in position?" "Nearly. Nat's not at his post. Have you seen him?" Briar shook her head. "Is he in disguise?" "Maybe, but his costumes are never that convincing." Archer scanned the merrymakers, frowning slightly. "We'll have to go ahead without him. Someone's going to spot May and steal the reward out from under us. We can't have that." Archer winked at her and plunged back into the crowd. She wished he'd stayed a little longer. It had been over a month since he nearly died, and she still feared he'd vanish from her life as quickly as he had appeared. She glimpsed a swirl of indigo as he moved through the throng, getting closer to Lord Barden's scarlet pavilion. Another familiar face caught Briar's eye in the crowd of townsfolk, and she tugged her hood forward again. It was the blacksmith who'd betrayed her to the authorities that summer. Briar clamped down hard on a surge of anger, resisting the urge to reach for her paints. The blacksmith's 2 young daughters stood beside him at a weaver's stall, and he was allowing them to pick out fabric for new dresses. He must have been rewarded handsomely for turning Briar in, even though the sheriff and his voice mage had failed to capture her. She returned her mug to the cider stand and edged closer to Lord Barden's pavilion, not trusting herself not to lash out at her betrayer. Lord Barden looked as though he'd had enough of the festivities. He glowered into his cup, his jowls sagging forlornly, and fiddled with a thin curl of parchment. Beside him sat Sheriff Flynn, who paid more attention to the maids pouring the ale than to his unhappy liege lord. The other guests, a certain Master Winton among them, gorged themselves on free food, watching the regular fairgoers disdainfully. Mage Radnor wasn't at the table. Briar twisted the strap of her paint satchel restlessly. Her main job today was to keep the voice mage from causing trouble. After forcing him to heal Archer up north, she had released Radnor to return to his employer's side. He should be back by now. Abruptly, Lord Barden slammed down his cup and lurched to his feet. He muttered something to Flynn and turned to leave the pavilion. Briar hurried forward to intercept him. They had to approach him in public to keep him from wiggling out of the deal. He couldn't leave yet. But Lord Barden only made it 3 steps before light flashed, and a bang like a firecracker exploded in the center of the crowd. The fairgoers surged away from the commotion, looking around wildly for the source of the noise. Another flashbang went off, ushering the crowds farther back. A space cleared around Archer in indigo, a man cloaked in black, and a woman in a white gown with a deep fur-lined cowl. Archer threw a 3rd red curse stone on the ground, setting off another bang to draw the attention of the people beneath the scarlet pavilion, and their lord. "What is the meaning of this?" Lord Barden demanded. "My lord, fair gentlemen and women, I bear good tidings." Archer bowed deeply, flourishing his cloak in a dramatic swirl. As he straightened, his hood slipped back, revealing a shock of white blonde hair. "Your long nightmare is at an end." "Explain yourself." "I bring you that which you have long sought." Lord Barden frowned. "I'm not in the mood for games." "This is no game." Archer spread his arms wide and turned in a slow circle, giving the crowds as much time as possible to gather. They flooded from all over the fairgrounds, eager to see the 3 cloaked figures causing such a disturbance. Briar was jostled from all sides, and she struggled to stay near the front, still watching out for Mage Radnor. When the crowd was big enough, Archer spun to face Lord Barden. "Behold! Your daughter, Lady May, is returned safe and sound to your care." May flung back her cowl, releasing her golden curls and drawing gasps from the onlookers. Her round cheeks were pink with the cold, her blue eyes bright. She made a pretty picture in her white gown, like a fairy queen from a story. Briar bit down on a twinge of jealousy. May and Archer looked beautiful together. The crowds repeated the lady's name over and over, excitement spreading quickly through the